Credo in unum Deum Patrem omnipotentem, factorem celi et terre, visibilum omnium et invisibilum.
It's happening again.
Welcome to church.
We need an exorcism.
That's pretty good.
And a mouthful of hot tea.
Oh.
I'm sorry.
That was
Did you get a
pretty
hot
stellar pronunciation.
Anyway, welcome to Broken Phone.
Yeah, it's time for Broken Phone again. This time we got a lot of folks here. We got Alex, Brandon, Chaz, Dan, Emmy, Haley, Jeff, Lindsay, Mal, Paul, myself, Thomas, and Tom. And that's a fair bit. We've made
Parentheses Fox.
Tom of the F variety. That's 13 books. That's a lot of books.
Yeah, we should get started.
So it's going to be a long one. Grab some popcorn and sit down because these are they're something. I don't know what they are.
But careful not to choke because these are probably going to make you laugh.
Probably a little
First
bit.
up, we'll start with Jeff.
Oh, okay. The global supply chain can no longer reliably supply Nintendos. Shigeru Miyamoto is deeply concerned. Oh, that's right. I'm in control of this. For some, this would be the end of the line, but Miyamoto-san was shrewd. His solution, grind up the fans that complain about Smash Brothers characters into new consoles.
Oh, God.
He'd need an industrial-sized blender, but that wasn't anything that his Nintendo salary couldn't cover. Miyamoto-san prepared a spreadsheet of all noisy and noisome Smash fans.
This is great.
Noisome, good word.
Sir, we built up this giant blender just for you, gesturing to the machine below. Now, the technician fell in and got smoothied up. Neat, Miyamoto shouted.
I hate the verb smoothied.
Dan, put in a Wilhelm scream there, please.
No charges were brought, but the employees murmured quietly. Did he do it? Did he mean to do it? That's exactly how Miyamoto-san wanted it. Their fear would prove useful to him. Now that everybody feared Miyamoto, his power grew tenfold. Not even the shareholders could stop his ultimate plan, finishing Super Mario 128. Miyamoto's power kept doubling. 256, 512, 1024, 1024. He'd created Kilo Mario.
Wow.
Sony won't know what to do. Call the board. Daddy's bringing Kilo Mario to consoles this holiday. Miyamoto had never been so pleased or fearful of his work. Smash fans sat around their TV sets in rabid suspense. Oh, that's a great modifier for suspense. I really think it'll be Goku this time, Jimmy thought. Duster this time for sure, thought Jacob. LOL, thought Sakurai.
It's gonna be Duster. He's getting in.
Our next Smash character is Hello Kitty. Sakurai out. He dropped the mic, then the switch, and walked off the stage, never to be seen again. No, Kilo Mario. Lost Kilo Mario. That, children, is the legend of Masahiro Sakurai, said an elderly man as he closed an ornate storybook. But Grandpa, squeaked the girl, what was Hello Kitty's final smash?
I love this.
I am fascinated to know.
His wizened eyes gazed sadly into the darkened sky, the shattered remnants of a planetary hand obscuring all stars. His voice choked as he replied to the girl, we're still in it.
Incredible.
I'm crying. I was trying to hold it.
She choked back a sob. But it's the end of the book. Where the fuck are we supposed to go from here? Don't worry, kiddo, he cooed. We'll get a second book and rake in that sequel moan.
Moan.
Wow.
What an excellent
Moan.
That's some quality world building, Chaz.
Oh my god.
I'm glad you liked it.
I love We're Still in it. Also, a moment of silence for the loss of Kilo Mario, which would have been an incredible continued character.
And the blender manufacturer.
That part stayed relatively coherent for a while. I was surprised.
Good work. Excellent book.
That was a lot.
Blending.
Who knew that
Next
it would
up.
take an industrial-sized blender to keep us coherent?
Thomas, you're up.
A mysterious letter arrived in the mail. No return address, wax seal, and postmarked from 30 year in the future? But who is this letter for, I wondered, as postal addressing had apparently shifted from marking to masking in the intervening 30 years.
Wow.
No, I shuddered while processing what this must mean. It can't be. We're still dealing with this all these years later. It can't be true. Yeah, I'm sorry to tell you, but the 1988 Olympics never technically ended, and the records were lost in a fire, he gasped. Americans need to look at us.
We haven't addressed the typo in the first line that inspired
I
this
saw it,
correction.
and
Shut up!
it was
Shut
great.
up! You didn't notice. It's fine. The world's greatest diver slammed the doorway in resentment. I told you before, man. I don't care about your conflagration. What? I'm the greatest diver now. Without wheels, I just can't drive underwater, which you could stand to do, given your flaming vehicle. I cried because he was right. I had only two options: perish in the burning car fire, or drive myself into the ocean and out myself as a mermaid. What? If I touched seawater, I would have to return to the deep. Driving the inflamed car. Wow. Driving the inflamed car down the crowded pier. I screamed, I just want to be part of your world. As the car hit the water, I transformed back into my real self, a mermaid. Yet.
What a damn
My health
phrase.
went down to 0 and game over appeared on the screen. Even with mods, I was still terrible at GTA 5. I decided to head back to the fridge for a snack. I laughed to myself. What a callback.
Wow.
Whoa!
I laughed to myself. What does Alfredo want? You? Imagine if the food said that. That'd be crazy. Anyway, I was hungry. Did I want a sandwich, string cheese, or maybe I could whip up the world famous chili con carnival, filled with everything you'd want in chili, with everything you'd want at a carnival. With everything you can get at a carnival. Middle-aged, third-rate clown parts.
Clown parts?
Whoa.
Distorted latex balloons, rusted roller coaster parts. Nothing could taste better, except maybe one last funnel cake with ice cream and sprinkles and whipped cream and a cherry. Yes, everything would be
Thanks for the
perfect
save,
now.
Mel.
So
Same.
Like,
Oh my god!
Yeah.
For a brief moment when I was
Sorry
writing
about
that carnival part, I was like, maybe I should specify that it's carnival food.
Man,
Nah.
Man, the fact that there are third-rate clown parts insinuates that there are second and first-rate clown parts.
Are the clowns third rate or are the parts third rate?
Now that's
okay, no,
the
let's-
question.
I mean, they've got their USDA rating scale for clowns.
yeah.
Chili Con Carnival really just tickled my funny bone.
Oh.
It's gonna tickle it for a long time. I'm gonna be sitting around and I'm just gonna burst out laughing, and people are gonna ask what's wrong, and I'm just gonna be like, Chili Con Carnival.
We started with the Postal Service. 13 pages is a lot of room for trouble.
Ain't it grand?
I'm thinking.
Such great heights. Brandon.
Well, boo.
Oh,
Wow.
Brandon.
Oh boy.
Oh no.
Angry young haberdasher Gregino parts his hair and gives 2 thumbs up to the mirror. He was ready for the visit.
Was this written by an AI, Brandon?
Who's to say I'm not an AI?
Alex, this is on par with what you generally write.
Gregino painted the goat blood onto his bedroom floor. Oh, he sat in the center of the pentagram and began muttering the sacred phrase. Suck my balls. In a flash of fire, the goat blood combusted, and a portal opened in the center, slowly rising from the smoke and cinders. Was a Koopy doll? In this century? Our protagonist quickly double-checked the spell. Surely something had gone awry. But then, the doll began to speak. In the cutest voice possible. I am the goddess of cheerleading. You must perform a running round-off backhand tuck to appease me. Please, goddess of cheerleading, anything but that, they pleaded. You know a running round-off backhand back tuck killed my father. Succeed where he failed, my child.
Oh.
They took a deep breath and absorbed their father's soul before running into the move.
Anime.
They leaped. Could their combined powers succeed in a running round-off backhand back tuck? God.
Anime.
You can do it, my children, was the last thing they heard of their father. The glowing of their bodies shone brighter than the gold they were about to win. Twist, twist, tuck, spin, stuck. They twisted, tucked, and spun and the famous TTSS, they would call it in the history books to be written after this fateful day. Their luminosity grew. Victory was close. These Soviet gymnasts were stars.
Of course you would go here.
Figuratively, but also literally, a series of Soviet experiments on fusion had given them godlike power. Mechagodzilla hadn't counted on that. The day was won. Mechagodzilla was defeated. The credits rolled. The theater goers clapped. Truly a cinematic masterpiece. I decided to press my luck to see if I could get my souvenir Mechagodzilla popcorn cup refilled on the way out. But there was nobody outside the theater. Nobody existed. Stumbling around the city, I found no one. I could finally do it without consequence. Poop at my neighbor's pool. I always hated him. He was truly the great Gatsby.
Oh my god.
Wow.
I had no idea where this book was going until the page I received.
By the way, Dan, in editing, I want you to play the sacred phrase backwards.
Yeah. Yeah, I picked up on that.
Dan, that was such a good literary reference with how important the pool is in Great Gatsby. A+.
Oh, yeah.
Somebody paid attention in high
There was
school
a
English
pool?
class. Yeah.
Oh my God, Alex.
There was a pool.
It's the one with Leonardo
it's fine.
DiCaprio.
Is that the one about Ted Kennedy?
Sure,
Anyway,
why not?
yeah.
I need to move on.
Yes, Alex.
Let's
The
move on.
Soviets.
Yes, honey.
Moving on. Haley, you're up.
Wow.
Okay, I said this earlier while playing Valheim, and everybody's like, that's a great first page.
Yeah,
So-
I was like, is that your broken phone starting phrase?
All right. A good blueberry is hard to find. A bad blueberry, on the other hand, is pretty easy to find. My daughter once dated a blueberry, and he was bad news. I'm glad she ended up with that banana. He was nice. But that blueberry, I couldn't stop thinking about him. What was he up to? I looked him up. Facebook was barren. Didn't tweet. But he did own a warehouse downtown. I had to visit. Keys in hand, nervous sweat dripping, I jumped in my 1998 Pontiac Firebird, blaring down the interstate at 120. A blue lights show followed me. How will I see Blueberry Bill now? What?
He has a name.
Oh! But the answer was right in my rear view. Blueberry Bill had dissolved into a swarm of drones in hot pursuit, and they were closing in fast. I turned my attention back to the road to try and outmaneuver them, but it was no use. The buzzing grew louder, and the fragrance of various berries more pungent.
Oh.
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 All right.
Oh,
All right.
Oh, Dan.
Oh, okay.
Oh, Dan. Oh, Dan.
Oh.
I couldn't outrun them. Giant bees flanked me and started shooting me with giant berries, their juices filling every orifice.
Oh.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Gotta
I
have a
thought-
word with the network censors about this one.
Yeah, woof. I thought, if I can survive this, I'll make the best jam. I wish I knew why the giant bees weren't stinging me. Berry juices started to overwhelm me, and they kept shooting. I managed to close the Tupperware just in time. My berry harvest was bountiful, and I was so excited to leave the giant bees behind. Did you close the Tupperware?
Yeah.
It's a smaller version of closing the fridge.
Yeah.
Closing the Tupperware.
I traipsed back up to the road to the bazaar, dreaming of the pies and jams I would make. Little did I know the giant bees had planted a tracker on my Tupperware. Their trap was set.
And the bazaar was ahead.
Thankfully, I had already made an alliance with the miniature raccoons, and when I passed through their checkpoint, they noticed the tracker that the bees had planted. So the raccoon TSA allowed me to continue on to my flight. Apiary be damned. I checked the boards. My flight to Salt Lake City was still on time. As I walked through the gate, I turned one final time to see the agents stuffing their faces with trash. God smiled upon me this day. Amen.
Amen.
This is the prayer that I said
Amen.
before bed every night.
That's the weirdest prayer.
Whew, that was different than the first show.
Yeah. Did what I do? Did what I do in my phrase technically close the fridge? Considering it kind of took a turn there.
It's
I think there's a
fine.
lot of
It's
fridge,
fine.
we've all got a lot of fridge closing going on.
There are a lot of turns in this
It
book.
creates some chaos that can be very fun.
I love it.
Good book. Lindsay is up next.
You cannot be serious. There is no way that is a one-eyed, one-horned, flying purple people eater. They've gone extinct.
I love that song.
I am serious. Though, it's a lot smaller than I thought. With 2 eyes, no horns, doesn't fly, and is blue. But you know what? Screw you! Alex. Wade had always been a little self-conscious. Everyone had so many preconceptions, but he was really just a regular blue dude. As much as he tried to brush it off, it stung a bit. How Satan got to be blue, though, was anything but regular. You see, when you're the Lord of Sin, you're not above falling for that colloidal crap.
Got him.
And he'd be in good company. Blue lobsters were super rare and valuable, so why not Blue Satan?
Oh my god.
Satisfied with his plan, Beelzebub stopped down at the Menards, picked out a lovely turquoise and a bevy of self-applicators. The night ahead to finish before the party.
Oh no.
You can get that at Menards? Oh, man.
Say big money at Menards.
Beelzebub pulled up to the party. Everyone stopped and stared. Wow, said Baphomet. Those are some incredibly tight pants. Beels looks hot here.
Is here.
Because they're in hell.
Is there yeah, okay.
Oh, very nice.
Thanks.
Okay, sure. Beels is top of the list for fuck, but what about Mary and Kill?
Now with that sentence.
I did not think this was from you.
Wow.
Let Mallory say fuck.
Mary is Dev Hades. Gotta love a man who has a puppy. So it's true, came a quiet voice. You do still have feelings for me. It was Hades himself, shrouded in darkness. Baphomet, please come home. Cerberus misses you. I miss you. Fuck off, Hades. Sure, I liked you. That's just because I had a thing for bad boys. And you need to treat Cerberus better. He's a demon dog, goddammit. I turned my back to him. Wait, baby, I love you. I can be better. Hades cried, tears running down his face. God of the underworld, and show compassion? I flipped him the bird. Also, wouldn't Persephone be mad? I asked him. Nah, he replied. We've discussed a polyamorous relationship at length and have agreed on a good system of communication.
What is happening?
And that's when he realized that he really isn't a nice guy, just a dude who expects something in return for the $12 flowers he got from Kroger. The end.
Wow.
Oh my god.
Man, we went in a different direction.
Really new heights of excellence.
I'm pretty sure I read this in my ancient history textbook.
There you go.
I was so close to ending the book with Hades, but I was like, there's no way that we talked about Hades this whole book. I have to use the word he instead.
It were Kroger and Menards.
Man,
Not sponsored.
we are so close to those sponsorships. I can taste them. I know that brands want to be associated with this material so badly.
Especially when you're comparing like a lack of quality goods with the $12 flowers from Kroger. Turquoise at Menards, on the other hand.
Menards, call me.
$10, you are up.
It's time to duel, Kaiba, Yugi said, his hand hovering above his Millennium Revolver in its holster. Pathetic, Yugi. You're a third-rate cowboy with a fourth-rate gun, Kaiba replied.
What?
My grandfather gave me this gun. Yugi touched his Millennium Revolver and admired how shiny it was and thought how it was better than Kaiba's. He'd win this duel. He had to. You disappoint me, Yugi. 10 paces. Kaiba loaded up his pearly white Glock and turned with more confidence than Dale Jr. taking a left. Whoa. I've got to focus. Yugi's hands trembled.
Was Yu-Gi-Oh set in Texas?
At a NASCAR race?
In the parking lot of it.
As his fingers traced the dagger made from a single blue eyes white dragon claw. But it was now or never. 6, 7, 8, 9. Would his opponent have honor or cheat? I smirked as I pulled my secret weapon out of my pocket. My red eyes black dragon claw. 10, 11, 12. I brandished it triumphantly. The blue eyes white dragon claw couldn't stand a chance.
Going for the customary 79 paces.
Oh, God. I mean, there's nothing about paces in Chaz's message, but it's just really great that it's like, we're going to take 10 paces.
We all agree, right? It's 18 paces.
The lobster kung fu anime is just getting weirder and weirder. I said, oh, that wasn't Yugi. I said aloud, but I kept watching.
This is you watching Yugi.
I mean, shit. How could I look away from lobster kung fu anime? Then they introduced the double agent lobster was half red, half blue. My dudes, that's solid gold. Indeed, my dudes. I cannot look away. I'm gonna start adding "indeed, my dudes" to my vocabulary. And as the floodwaters swept in, the last thing I saw was the dichromatic lobster executing his ultimate turnabout. Then blackness. After a short while, I saw a light. As it drew near, I noticed its shape. A lobster, playing a guitar. Its melodies wrapped around me like a warm tortilla.
This is the post that made me say, how am I supposed to follow this up?
It felt so comforting, so familiar. I looked at the guitar-playing lobster. Abuela? Is that you? A part of me, yes, the lobster whispered lovingly, but not all. Oh, that's good, I responded, because you were a lot less crustaceous when I was a kid. Anyway, can you, get off my dinner plate?
What is happening?
He looked back at me, tears welled in his crabby eyes. You know I'm sensitive about my crustaciousness. Now grab those crackers, melt up. Now grab those crackers, melt up some butter, and eat me, dickhead.
Abuela was not in the one that I saw.
That's in my abuela.
I'm not reading this. In book, Mal's book.
Okay, hang on. How did Lindsay Lindsay knew that we talked about Red Eyes Black Dragon and Blue Eyes White Dragon. It was half red and half blue.
Amazing.
It was pretty amazing.
I can't breathe. I'm dying.
Can we take a break?
I feel like
Intermission.
I need to go to bed.
These last few
Oh my god.
These last few books.
Tomorrow.
These last few books, it feels like there are 2 books in each book. Like there's something that happens halfway through and you're like, what's going on? And then you're just on a new adventure.
13 pages is a lot.
That's
true.
I can't feel my hands. I'm like...
He had had a bad day and just needed something to make him feel better. Those pickles were looking mighty tasty, but his wallet was empty. Payday wasn't for another 4 days.
Oh, no.
Sweet. Haley, oh no.
Chaz taunted me in this book to figure out which details were relevant, so I'm sorry.
This is a lot.
He went across the street to the local friendly pickle loan shark to get some cash to buy those sweet, sweet gherkins. But just how desperate for those pickles are you? Asked the loan shark, flipping a coin. What skin are you going to give me to put in the game in exchange?
Oh no, now I don't know what book this is. There's 2 books that made me say, oh no.
Sweat dripped down my furry brow onto my tongue. Briny, I thought, just like those pickles, I yearned. Only one move to make. The bridge. The loan shark gasped. The only way out is to blow the bridge.
What?
I stared quizzically at him down my long werewolf snout. It connects towards the city, the shark continued. Without it, they're screwed. How could I have predicted that I, a werewolf, would find a turtle with a shark? Do it. Destroy the bridge. Let's cut off the city and we can rule it together.
Oh.
I looked into the shark's eyes as I transformed. Fur and claws erupting through my body, then a howl. Okay, I'll hit the bridge. Good. See you upriver. The city would be ours.
Oh, what?
The screen went black. And that's the ending, the cinematics director said. Sonic Unleashed 2 is going to be the Sega executive struck.
What?
Wow.
Oh!
Oh, God.
What?
Five more.
As they do.
Very interesting, Mr. Director, but according to our meme scholars, everyone likes it when Sonic games are glitchy, so you have 3 days to make it, ordered the Sega executive. The team immediately went to work creating the glitchiest Sonic game imaginable. What were the top glitches in the game? Well, let me tell you. Freezing in place when you have 10 rings or less. Microtransactions don't work, but charge anyway. Tails dropping enemies on you. Finally, the end of uncomfortable fanfiction. The people rejoiced, for all the Sonic fanfiction was no more. And when you Googled your name, the hedgehog, Google would show legit hedgehogs. Neat.
That's good. Neat.
Thus concludes our hedgehog tale. Until next time, stay blue and gotta go fast.
Okay.
Wow.
We've had a couple neats in this, right? We had one really
Yep.
So
neat.
apparently I focused on the one detail that was not relevant. Oops.
Yeah, the pickles were what you should have gotten with, but it's all right.
No, we're werewolves now.
I love Lone Shark turning into an actual shark. That's great. More of that.
I was
Don't
reading
wear-
this and I was
don't-
like, man, I how funny would it be if that lone shark just became a shark and then became a shark.
The werewolves weren't exactly expected either.
Yeah, I don't know where that came from.
So when I saw, so I could see where it kind of came together though, because when sweat dripped down my furry brow, it's like,
Yeah,
what has
I mean-
a furry brow? Is it just some dude with a really hairy brow,
Werewolf.
or is it a werewolf, or is it some kind of anthropomorph?
I get
Down
it.
your brow onto your tongue. You
Well,
gotta
wolves
have your
don't
tongue
sweat
lolling
glands,
out.
So it would have to be a werewolf.
Oh boy.
Your tongue's gotta be lolling out.
Really read into that.
To go
but
from your brow to your tongue. So
I learned this in
that's how we
elementary
got
school.
there.
Everybody did in our Werewolves 101 class.
Yep.
Just common logic.
Yep. The follow up lycanthropy 102.
I do not remember writing this at all. Oh, I remember. Oh, yeah,
no.
I spent like 8 minutes trying to do 4 lines of a song and trying to get it to fit, and then someone was like, "Listen, everyone is on page 4." So then I just wrote, "I cannot make this Honda do miracles, Sally." Sure.
Oh,
I cannot make this Honda do miracles, Sally. But don't you know? All Hondas can do one miracle. You just have to get it to 42.5 miles per hour and then pull the emergency brake. Sally yelled back over the roar of the tsunami. Having nothing to lose, my steel-toed spurs slammed into the car floor. My crappy 4-cylinder fired up to 40 in 10 seconds. 41. 41.5. The roaring wave was closing in. 42. 42.5. I hit the fattest ramp and got some sweet air. Stunt jump completed. Oh, also the tsunami behind me. The jump gave me some much-needed distance between me and the wave. As much as I wanted to revel in my success, the tsunami was still there, and I needed to keep giving it all I had. I turned a corner and was at the foot of the tallest hill in town. The roar of water was gaining behind me. Calculations ran through my head as I ran headlong up the embankment. Just enough time, I thought, but I hadn't foresaw what lay at the top. Some good old boys who were drinking whiskey and rye. Though they didn't realize this levee wasn't dry, this certainly would be the day that they'd die.
A+. You have won this game.
God, this first draft is a fucking nightmare, Don McLean said with a fifth of scotch in hand. Maybe this needs a Star Wars reference in there? You know, the world isn't ready for that, Weird Al chimed in, appearing in the doorway. You're right, Don McLean said, but you can perform it. The true lyrics. Al's third eye opened. His mouth opened. A sound like a stampede of cattle slowly grew until it overtook the entire world. Suddenly, the earth was, as on the first day, renewed. Gerald was proud of a C.S. Lewis fanfic. He got to write cool fantasy, but everything was a metaphor for Christ. Literally everything. The fanfic itself was shaped like a crucifix. While difficult to read, Christians and Catholics bought it up like Jesus-patterned toast. The sequel is coming, and let me tell you, it's gonna be a doozy.
What?
Wow.
We really went.
Every phrase was a phrase closer.
Alex, we started with miracles.
Yeah.
I really am proud of the fact that Tsunami made it past Roaring Wave.
Yeah.
Like, we just picked right back up on Tsunami. That was great. Good job, guys.
Very nice.
I was like, well, that's probably a tsunami. It's fine.
Okay,
we
There's
lost
also
it with-
2 books with GTA references now, which probably says something about the way we write.
Okay. I legitimately need a second because I'm gonna pee myself laughing. I'll be right back.
I think it's a sign we need another. I think the GTA thing is a sign we need more raid on Tripoli.
Oh God.
All right. Next up is Dan.
I looked back and forth between the 2 options. My reflection in the man's sunglasses. I took the red pill, and everything instantly changed. Suddenly, I felt the strangest sensation. The wall started to melt. I could hear Jimi Hendrix music playing. A hazy smell overcame me. Hours later, I woke at Woodstock with my clothes missing. All of their buttons.
I love how everyone's doing the incomplete sentence thing.
All of their buttons. I suspect the button goblins took them. But I could still hear Jimi Hendrix? Wait, was I Hendrix? I picked up the nearest guitar and strummed a few bars. Holy shit, that's Purple Haze. I don't even actually know how that song goes. I'm Jimi fucking Hendrix. My skills would get revenge on the button goblins. Those goblins were tough. B flat minor, F sharp major. It's not working. E flat minor? No! The acid rain fell harder. My face was burning. The haze is failing! I shake backward.
Holy hell!
The goblins can see everyone now. Jimmy, get out of here! Wait, what the fuck is going on? The goblins can see everyone now. Jimmy, get out of there! I hustled down the hill and broke 2 strings. I can't find my pick and Buddy can't play with 1 stick. Ah, fuck! The goblins were closing in, but Jimmy wasn't going anywhere. He got down on his knees and started to shred. One by one, heads started exploding. I should have invited Jimi Hendrix to play D&D earlier, I thought. Bards would never be the same for me after that. Jimmy treated us to a bitchin' guitar lick every time he doled out bardic inspiration. With a wink, his D8 saved our barbarian from getting charmed. Good thing, too. He was so OP. As delightful and life-saving as they were, the party was constantly locked in battle because of his guitar licks. Enemies from miles around were alerted to our location by Jimmy. The rogue grew disgruntled. The paladin, already incensed by the lyrics, snapped, "How dare you!" she shouted. "Aside from all these dire wolves, kissing the sky is sacrilegious."
Wow.
Typical.
Wow.
The paladin unsheathed her sword and beheaded the blasphemer. The dire wolves.
Oh!
The dire wolves set upon the corpse. The sacred sky was again unblemished. And this, our DM said, is the end of our campaign. We all cheered, cried, and thanked them for a fantastic game. The end.
He didn't just kill Jimi
Turns out
Hendrix.
the BBEG was Jimi Hendrix, and the Paladin did her best to decapitate him.
Man, I can't. I brought this back to D&D.
Yeah.
Typical paladins.
Excuse me while I kill these wolves.
Excuse me while I kill this guy.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's what the
man.
Paladin said.
Incredible.
And this all started with the Matrix. Cool.
Yep.
Matrix
Okay,
quickly
Dan, when I
Jimi
first
Hendrix.
got that, I sent you what it was. I was just going to write, suddenly I died, and that was going to be it.
Excellent book. Paul, you are up next.
It took me a while to realize it, but maybe my job as the Applebee's sommelier was not quite as prestigious as I had been led to believe.
Ooh, that's a good start.
Wow.
Oh, that's a good book right there.
No matter how much barefoot Merlot I sling, I always leave my shift crestfallen. That all changed Thursday night. 2 empty bottles tucked into my overalls, I clocked out, Big Brother on my muted, muddled mind. But this night, I wouldn't make it home. I was stopped by the tallest, greenest witch. Her features were captivating, her high cheekbones giving her a regal air. She was unlike anything I'd ever seen. She disappeared into the woods, and I knew I had to pursue.
Oh, no.
It was her knobby, warty nose and the way her ass shifted around like a waterbed as she ran.
It was beautiful.
Everyone's idea of beauty is different.
Okay. That's fair.
I continued to chase after her into the woods. I was losing ground. How was I ever going to catch her? Then I remembered. I could ride on top of the bird I keep in my backpack. I set off and started gaining on that old crone.
Suddenly Banjo-Kazooie.
This is a Banjo-Kazooie fanfic, obviously.
Kazooie was moving, but not quickly enough. I swatted the back of her head with my big bear claw. She ran twice as fast, and we caught up to the witch. Reaching, I grabbed the witch's ankle and pulled us up. I tried to tell Kazooie to shoot military-grade eggs at her, but she was concussed. We were in a pickle. Pickled eggs! A pickle indeed. In the speed of working with what we had, Kazooie began hurling pickled eggs at the witch. Soon she was wilting from the vinegar. This is quite unpleasant. Why are pickled eggs emerging from this pheasant? Gruntilda screeched at Kazooie. Because I'm sick of your crap, you witch. Just let me go home.
Oh, what? New characters.
Ninjella dashed forward. Gruntilda, look. These eggs are golden pickled eggs. Gruntilda picked one of the gross eggs up. These eggs are gold. We'll increase our savings tenfold. As Gruntilda and Ninjella stopped to gather all the golden eggs, Banjo and Kazooie patiently watched from the bushes, awaiting the perfect moment to attack.
So first they're attacking, and then they stop, and then they go to the next moment.
Continuity errors.
Yeah. All right. Just like we rehearsed. You ready? Let's get cracking. CSI Miami intro.
Man,
Yeah, I was envisioning like Great Fairy from Breath of the Wild, not Gruntilda, but
man, that
that
that stayed very much a Banjo and Kazooie fanfic for more than half. Incredible.
Somebody's gonna post this on like Archive of Our Own is like written by Steven Friends.
Yeah, written by Stephen George.
I am extremely disappointed that Josh Jepson did not join us for this specific episode because it would have been fantastic.
I was like, wait, is Josh here? No, wait, why am I getting this?
What's happened?
Because Alex decided to Talk about a bird he kept in his backpack.
I haven't played Banjo-Kazooie since 1998. I just thought, oh, it's a witch. Okay, Banjo-Kazooie.
All witches.
I was so focused on Nobby Warty Nose that I didn't even process the way her ass shifted around like a waterbed as she ran.
Brilliant line.
Yeah,
brilliant.
Beautiful.
That's the best line in this book.
That's what everyone
I like.
wants to
This is
hear.
quite unpleasant. Why are pickled eggs emerging from this pheasant?
I like the
was my
common
favorite.
theme of pickling through several of these books.
Lots
good job.
of
We've had a
pickles
lot of
tonight.
pickles.
I've never played Banjo-Kazooie. Was the rhyme okay?
Yes,
Yeah.
that's
Oh,
very on
Two of them,
brand.
so I just thought that was how she speaks.
It
It
is.
is.
It is.
Okay.
Oh, nice.
Yep,
Okay.
she speaks in rhymes.
Alex, you're up.
Oh, let me try and center myself here.
Oh, this was from you?
She speaks in
Oh,
rhymes, but not
God.
necessarily meter.
Oh no.
Oh, okay.
Oh no.
When he first read the letter, Thomas was skeptical. A free tropical island? No. Wait, that's not a good Thomas voice.
Hell, okay,
Wow.
Our friend
this
Thomas.
over.
My name is Thomas.
When he first read the letter, Thomas was skeptical. A free tropical island, and all I have to do is go on Japanese TV and eat a live elephant. That sounds too good to be true.
Better Thomas voice.
Thomas hated elephants, absolutely despised them. This was a chance for him to solidify his position as an apex predator. It was better than Twitch. It was live Japanese TV. The Japanese TV host asked Thomas his name, and Thomas said, Elephant-hating Thomas, which was a lie, because his actual name was just Thomas.
There are 4 Thomases in that sentence.
Wow.
I want you to know that that's the best thing I've ever written in my life.
I agree.
Oh boy.
I mean, we've kept the TV, we had kept the elephant, kept the Thomas.
Well, elephant-hating Thomas, you'll begin this round. Please make a selection. Elephant-hating Thomas pondered the categories: peanuts or guess the battery size. It was a tough choice.
It was an tough choice.
Jeff, don't shit on Thomas.
Thomas is doing his
Damn it.
best.
Twice he's done this to me this game.
So this is why. So I'm
Don't
just
play
going
with
to
the copywriter.
I'm just going to interject here and say this is why commas are important.
There wasn't one originally.
Listen, we don't all have internal journalist-grade editors in our heads.
Would it be a hyphen for elephant-hating Thomas?
Keep going,
Sure,
please.
The elephant-hating Thomas neglected to guess the battery size necessary to power the MacGuffin that would save the world in favor of eating the pile of peanuts.
I had literally no idea how to parse that sentence.
No, it's quite a doozy. Jeff.
You just inserted a comma and you're like, this is why commas are important.
Oh, God.
PhD.
The elephant gleefully accepted his peanuts. Thomas, however, was doubled over forward, convulsing with laughter.
Whoa.
He straightened with a maniacal cackle. Unlimited power was his.
Oh.
Thomas extended his arm, and lightning shot out of it, scorching the yacht. Typical of the
my
first
God.
taste of unlimited power, the elephant thought. But suddenly, the peanuts stirred. Chaz, come on.
What?
What the hell, dude?
It's great,
Peanut
Chaz.
screamed. My dad will be pissed if there's a scratch on our yacht. That's when sad elephant Thomas remembered Legume Daddy and burst into tears.
Oh, God. I can't breathe.
like Legume Daddy.
Legume Daddy.
There's a lot of stuff I don't like in that sentence.
Oh, man.
Mr. Peanut was your father. And you are no Mr. Peanut, Thomas yelled. You're just a slacker living off your daddy's peanut fortune.
Whoa.
Mr. Peanut, the has-been, took off his monocle and wiped the tears from his eyes. But Thomas, what if I could give away all the jars of peanuts? Would that make you happy? Thomas looked down upon Mr. Peanut, pulling the hammer back on his pistol.
God.
Tom loves guns, I tell you. No, Thomas said, pulling the trigger. The George Washington Carver special splattered everywhere.
That's a lot.
Thomas wiped the peanut butter off of his face. Goodbye, Mr. Peanut. He holstered his pistol. What about me? Said a small voice. God damn it. I forgot about Baby Nut.
Everyone forgot about Baby Nut.
I might be a murderer, but I'm not a monster. I couldn't just murder Baby Nut. So now I patrol these streets with my adopted child and hitmen in training. Baby Nut.
I'm very afraid.
This book very specifically was the one where I like almost every single page I was like, wait, hold on, what? Like I could not my brain could not process what had happened when we were already to the next part. I was like, wait, but what happened to where was the elephant?
I don't know why I went so gun heavy on these.
The only constant was Thomas.
We got elephant hating Thomas. We got gun hating Thomas. We got elephant Thomas.
An elephant hating Thomas.
The elephant and the peanut both went on a journey throughout that, but Thomas was
the constant.
I'm just glad I get to adopt Baby Nut.
Oh boy.
This all happened on Japanese television.
On a yacht.
On a yacht.
Yeah, I would believe it.
American TV sucks.
With determination in my stride and fruit punch in my flask, I decided that today was the day.
Nice.
Fuck steroids. Today I'm going to try out zebra cakes as my performance-enhancing drug for the swim competition. No one's going to see this butterfly stroke coming. Fortunately, I'm pretty sure the Olympic Committee doesn't test for high fructose corn syrup. Little Debbie stared off, imagining herself on a podium holding the gold medal. Her vision dreamily evolved. Her gold medal morphed into a foil-wrapped ding-dong. Damn that hussy from Hostess, always trying to thwart Debbie's ambitions. Debbie took that gold-wrapped ding-dong and gulped it down in one bite. I'll show that Hostess lady what for. Trick me? With a fake gold medal? You're ho-ho. The doctor gasped in shock. Debbie, you completely idiotic ding-dong, he shouted. Gold is poison to your kind. What good is this non-bamboozling if it cost you your life? I've forgotten, gold is so pretty, Debbie cried. How could you forget? It's your one weakness. The doctor sighed, grabbing the calamine lotion and used an absurd amount, like gallons and gallons. Debbie questioned the doctor's legitimacy as she began to drown in calamine lotion and gold. As Debbie took her final breath, the doctor smiled. The ritual is done. The doctor reached into the base of his neck.
What?
And began to forcefully rip his face off.
Oh, I don't like that.
The nurse rushed in. What are you doing, Dr. Sanderson? He cackled with glee, ripping off one ear, then the next. Here, little Debbie snack cakes. Put them in my face hole. The nurse knew what she had to do. She cracked the door open and shoved the gurney into the MRI bay. Grabbed by the field, the gurney hit Sanderson, and they both vanished into the void. Sanderson was gone. The void portal was closed. The hospital was saved, and so were the babies. Nurse, are you all right? She looked up, wiping sweat from her forehead. Well, it depends on your definition of all right, but sure, she sighed. Hey, do you think this qualifies for hazard pay? Absolutely not.
Haley.
Get back to work. Yeah.
Man, parts of this felt like it was from like a failed BioShock mod or something. Like, it felt very
okay. So hold on.
I went into a trance reading that. I have no idea what I just read.
That's how I feel when I read one.
We lost Little Debbie for a little while, and then Alex picked it back up.
Well, who else is a Debbie gonna be?
That's the only Debbie.
Only one.
Only Debbie. There are no others.
Man,
Sorry,
you actually did pull. How is that possible? Because I just wrote Debbie, and you brought it back. How did you do that?
Mind reading.
We're
when
really
you
good
think
at
of all
this.
the Debbies that you know, the one with the most comedy potential is
Is Little Debbie.
Yeah.
Tiny Deborah.
Oh, Tiny Deborah.
I love how it's her Little Debbie snack cakes because she literally was Debbie. She had the snack cake. This is great.
Mm-hmm.
This is
That was a lot. That was not where I expected fruit punch in my flask to go.
Hey, of all these 13-page books, that one stayed pretty coherent.
Yeah.
That one was, I think, more coherent than the Sonic fanfiction one.
Our final book is mine.
Double oof.
Admiral Giraffe stepped onto the asteroid with trepidation. She was certain the ghost's home was here. Her communicator was jammed. This mission, she was truly on her own.
Wow, that was the first page,
But
Chaz.
how does this connect to the space walrus lore?
Every officer has their special skill, and Admiral Giraffe was no different. But it was very unfortunate that there were no tall trees on this asteroid. This was one clever ghost. Without the raw materials, I'll never be able to build an old-timey wooden frigate to captain, Admiral Giraffe whined. Or, I guess, to Admiral. The ghost just giggled. Raw materials? I have plenty of those, the ghost grinned. We can build the most old-timey frigate the world has ever seen, Admiral Giraffe. But I need one thing from you first. You name it. The Zoopal's Navy can't move forward without this ship, Admiral Jaff complied. Good, said the ghost. I need one of your neck vertebrae.
Wow.
Hey.
Don't like that.
As I painfully removed one of my vertebrae, the ghost smiled wide.
But why?
The Toys R Us giraffe wasn't thrilled, but knew it was necessary to win the war. I wanted to help my country.
DIY neck surgery.
Jeffrey the giraffe inserted my vertebra into the skeleton as I fell to the ground in pain. The skeleton complete, the ghost began to reanimate. You fuckers stole Toys R Us from me, so I'm stealing your very souls, the giraffe snarled. It was a kind of a weird snarl, since giraffes don't really snarl. I cried out in pain. My restraints glowed red, seemingly burning from the inside out. I still didn't know why Joffrey was doing this to me. I didn't cause the downfall of his toy store empire.
Joffrey?
The torture was too much. Jeffrey, kids these days just don't want to grow up. Always talking about their fucking portfolios. I didn't cause the store to close. Joffrey laughed and laughed. Your tears mean nothing. This is just phase 2 of my tin pot plan to bring back Toys R Us.
Yikes! I'm so scared.
Joffrey had to be taken to the psychiatric hospital by an 18-wheeler because, well, he's a giraffe. A small mom-and-pop toy store would open up downtown, and it was doing well. Even all the VC-charged private equity firms in the world couldn't kill our spirit, Mom said. Pop nodded, wishing Joffrey the best on his road to rehabilitation.
Man.
Okay.
Wow. Bravo.
Good
From
God.
the Zoopal's Navy to a war for Toys R Us.
I like how we got a ghost voice, an old lady voice, 2 separate giraffe voices. Very, very excellent performances, Jess.
It got intense in the middle and then less intense in the end.
Yeah, that was...
As any good story should.
The action was just cut off by
Action.
Jeffrey being hoisted onto an 18-wheeler to get psychiatric help.
You want it to be like 80% denouement.
I really like the idea of a giraffe on an 18-wheeler. Really
They
great.
just lay him down. They just lay him
I
down.
know, it's just wonderful.
One of
That
these days, Admiral Giraffe will make it start to end.
God, that was a... This is, I think this is the longest episode of Broken Phone.
Oh, for sure.
For sure. It's really good. There's some really confusing books.
Entries in this.
But there's some really funny stuff too. I had a hard time breathing at one point, so I'm glad that I'm still alive.
I'm glad y'all went along with my Cowboy Yu-Gi-Oh fanfic as long as you did.
There was a lot of fanfics in this one.
We survived yet another episode of Broken Phone.
And that's really what
Really,
you
we all
do.
should be congratulated.
Like you survive. That's what you do. You survive.
A good blueberry is hard to find.
Everyone leave a comment and tell us what your favorite story was and why. 500 word minimum. Engagement.
We need that special comment.
Tell us which sentence was your favorite.
Honestly,
and then
that-
the entire next episode will be that sentence.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, I'd love to hear what
that
people.
sentence over and over again.
The
What
bazaar
people
was ahead.
enjoyed.
The bazaar was ahead. The bazaar was ahead. The bazaar was ahead.
As a
I mean,
reminder,
the episodes are already, isn't it?
if anyone is interested in making any sort of animations with these, we have been purposefully leaving the music out, so it's easier to do so. So have at it, artists, if you want something that's, I'm going to say, funny and troubling to animate. Enjoy yourselves. And
Although
as always...
right now it is playing that synth music, though, right? That normally plays at the end of Stephen and Friends episodes.
We'll never know. Make sure to tag us in it so we can see it and we can appreciate you and your art, because all of your art is so amazing.
Yes.
Yeah. God. Oh, there's been some animated ones already for some books in the past. And
Good.
It's been very, very funny. Thank you all for contributing to this nonsense. Because, dear God, I have cried a lot and my jaws hurt. We'll be back for more Broken Phone in the very near future.